fit that well now.
Okay, I'm here. Get go ready.
Let's go. Oh. Pay attention to your buff, please. I've got continuous.
I got angular going left side.
Pay attention to your buff.
Angular.
Continuous, I'm going back middle.
Continuous
on
coming.
right.
Oh my dude, what the fuck? We did this in one phase. Holy shit. We almost one phased them. What the fuck? Alright, let's get it right here. Hey, what's up guys? It's me, HAHAHA. Welcome to my final boss guide for the Scourge of the Past raid. We're gonna go ahead and break down a couple things before we start the actual encounter, so let's get into it. To start things off, you're gonna want to have 4 people assigned to a number from 1 through 4. Number 1, number 2, that's gonna be for the first phase, which is killing the first yellow mob. And then 3 and 4, which is the second phase, when you kill the second yellow mob. These 4 people need to know that the first person of each phase will pick up the charge and wait for the call out until the next charge will be picked up. Now, the first charge when you start the encounter, the one in the middle, that one will be picked up by the guy that reads the map. That way, everyone else is free of the ionized buff and can pick up charges freely. It is important to know that once you pick up a charge, you can no longer pick up another one until 2 minutes long, which is why the 1 through 4 system is necessary for this part. So now that we talked about the charges, let's go ahead and get into where the yellow mob locations will be and the locations where you have to take the charges at. Having names for each location is going to be pretty important so that everyone picking up a charge knows where to go. My team like to use the left side for the 3 dots, top side for the 1 dot, and right side for the 2 dots. For the yellow mob icons, we like to use bottom left, bottom right, mid right, top mid, top left, and mid left. Again, it is important people know these locations so everyone knows where to go to initiate the next phase. Once 4 charges have been successfully implemented, now you can focus on taking out the complete weak points using the tank and starting the DPS phase. You're going to want to know the weak points on the boss, so I will show you here. There's 2 at the front on his knees, 1 on the left side on his arm, 1 on the right side under his arm, and 2 on his back. These weak points must be taken out in order for the tank to shoot and bring him down to a state where you can do DPS. Before we get into the actual DPS phase, there's 3 locations I need you to know because everyone will eventually stand on this spot. On the left side we have parallel, in the middle we have continuous, and on the right side we have angular. Parallel, continuous, and angular are the names of the buff that you receive throughout the DPS phase. When you initiate the DPS phase, no one will have a buff, so you can stand together in the middle and do damage. After the boss does a shockwave, everyone will receive a buff, and then it is everyone's responsibility to check their buff and rotate to the correct location. For example, if I get angular, that means that I have to make sure I rotate to the right side. And once my buff changes, I can check again, and if it says parallel, I will go to the left side and do DPS there. There's going to be 2 times you have to rotate. The first time you don't have to do anything because you don't have a buff, and then the second time obviously you go to the location if you get angular, and you go to the next location if you get parallel or continuous, as an example. So with the information I gave you, you know that you will have to rotate 2 times. At the beginning you don't have to, then you will get a buff, you rotate, then you will receive another buff, and you rotate again. After that, your DPS phase is over, and you repeat the whole encounter again. There's a couple things to keep in mind throughout the fight when it comes to the boss and other surrounding enemies. The guy on the map will have enemies to deal with, including a servitor that must be eliminated, otherwise he cuts off the map and you will not be able to make callouts. The same person will have sights on the left and right side vandals. This same person will have sights on the boss's weak points, but it's not completely up to him to hit all of them. This is where the extra player that's not picking up a charge comes into play, because he can also hit weak points and deal with vandals and help on the middle as the player reads the map. The players collecting charges will be welcomed by 2 enemies plus a yellow mob. You will have to worry about the sniper vandals as they are the ones that give you the hardest time when you're running around the map. There will be some enemies in buildings, including a fallen captain with an arc shield, so keep him in mind. As for the boss, avoid being near him because the smash will one-shot you. He can shoot projectiles that don't really do much damage, and he can also shoot missiles at you, which aren't really a threat either. Do be aware of the red ring that he can put on the floor next to you because that can also one-shot you, but it rarely kind of spawns in. Well, that pretty much covers the guide for the boss. Just a couple more things that I can mention on top of my head that might ruin your run or can help you run is running 3 Well of Radiance will be king, because you could potentially have 1 well on each location for parallel, continuous, and angular. So that would mean everyone will be landing on a safe spot and doing extra damage. Whenever you guys have the parallel anchor above, keep in mind that there will be 2 of each, so everybody will have a partner. And if you're doing it correctly, everyone will receive the buff called phase synergy. And if you're doing it incorrectly, or if you're too close to the other buffs, you will get the buff called tether. So if you have tether, that basically means you're doing it incorrectly or you're too close to somebody else that has a different buff than you. And that's pretty much it. I hope this helped you guys out. Make sure you drop a like to support the video, and let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, as we will help each other out in case we have any tips, and some people might have some suggestions on to maximize and make this guide even better. So thank you so much, guys. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.